We're good.
Yay!
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons!
Christy gets to play today.
So mixed, so many emotions. Most of them are relief.
Tony.
Hey, yo, I caught it. I caught it this time before anybody else called me out on it.
No, Jeff called you out.
Well, of course he did. Look, death, taxes, and Tony running a stream where nobody can hear him.
I mean, facts. Facts.
Yeah. Yes. So, in case you missed it, welcome to Reality Break, where we take a break from the real world to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Again?
Dungeons and Dragons!
Dragons!
There we go. So, so Christy has relinquished the DM chair for now. She's very, emotionally, psychologically, grammatically, she's torn about it, but I think she's really ready to...
I'm so grammatically torn.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think she is ready to relinquish the chair, and I will be running, if you will, this one shot brought to you by the lovely folks at Dragon's Nest Delivery. So, just to run it down for everyone, Dragon's Nest Delivery is a D&D goodies gift service where you can get every month you get a one-shot adventure, a digital copy of it with PDFs. It comes with music, it comes with maps, it comes with the whole shebang. You also get some other fun little goodies. You get dice, 2 sets of dice actually. You get snacks, you can get minis, you can get cool little bags, all kinds of fun stuff. And you can do a subscription, a monthly subscription, or you can do a one-time purchase. So, if you go to dragonsnestdelivery.com and you use our code RealityBreak, capital R, capital B, you can get a discount at purchase. And the discount does carry over for one-time purchases and for the monthly subscription. So, once again, that is dragonsnestdelivery.com. And code RealityBreak, capital R, capital B at checkout. Now, Christy, Dragon's Nest Delivery is not the only partnership we have right now, is it?
No, the other partnership we have is with Hexwood Creations that makes these beautiful dice tray and dice holder thingies, containers that they magnet together like this. They also make little dice tower turret things. He also makes bigger ones too, like what Tony was showing. And you can also get inserts for these, so you can get different configurations and stack them up, so you have a big dice chest basically. He also makes charcuterie boards and cutting boards and wizard staffs and signs and anything made out of wood that you can think of. He probably has made it, and if he hasn't, you could commission him to make it, because he does commissions as well. And you can find him at hexwoodcreations.com. He has a Ko-Fi. That's kind of how he runs his store. He's also on TikTok and posts pretty frequently, and sometimes there's like giveaways and things that he does, or limited time things where he's running a special or something like that. But we also have a code with him, so if you use code RB20, you get a little bit of a discount, and then he knows that we sent you. So go check out hexwoodcreations.com for all of your woodworking goodies.
Needs.
But most especially the dice boxes. They're the best.
The dice boxes are top tier, I would have to agree. And the magnets? Dude, the magnets.
Gotta be careful. I've pinched my fingers on them before.
Yeah. I don't even know how they work, and they're so cool. So,
well,
shout out to ICP.
Magnets.
Shout out to ICP. If you know, you know. Speaking of if you know, you know, D, did you know that we have a Discord server?
No.
Oh, do you want me to explain it to you, or do you want to try to see if you can explain it to the people?
My, how the turntables
Yeah, go ahead.
have turned.
Mansplain Discord for her.
Hard pass.
right.
Hard pass. I am too dumb to mansplain anything, so we're gonna just leave that one there.
That's fine. Yes, the break room is where you can find us. We'll hang out and talk about Dungeons and Dragons and cosplay.
Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, sorry.
And cosplay and games and all the fun things, memes. But you can find us there, and I'll put the link in the chat.
There you go.
Today we were talking about the new Dungeons and Dragons.
Sorry.
Player handbooks, the new source books that are coming out this fall.
Yes.
They just released the pre-orders, so that's what we were talking about in the break room today.
Not plugged by D&D Beyond, but since we are playing the game, definitely go to their website to go check out. They got a good snippet on there, kind of an early preview of some of the stuff that they're doing with the changes. Looks like it'll be pretty exciting. Speaking of exciting things, Claire, so we have this large social media map, footprint, if you will. What are all the different places people can find us on the internet?
Google it. No. You can find us on TikTok, for instance, where you'll see all kinds of lovely, cool little things that are created by various people around here. There's all these little places you can hang out, and my brain is not thinking of them. TikTok, there's YouTube if you miss a stream, and we actually upload the VOD up there. You can go check out our YouTube and find out what those references are when we make a reference to another campaign. And if you're confused, well, just go to YouTube and you can get the references and you can finally laugh and chat. It'll be a great time for you. But we have also got our Blue Sky, and we've got Instagram, and then we sort of use Twitter, but not really. So if you're still hanging out there, give us a follow anyway. I don't know, make those numbers look good, I suppose, but
also go somewhere else to follow us.
Yeah.
Down with Elon Musk. We are an anti-Elon Musk stream, so X gonna give it to you. X is not gonna give it to you. X might give you a really bad worldview.
Whoa.
Hey, I saved it.
Watch your profanity.
I'm just saying. X could give it to you. So let's see here. So we got Hexwood, we've got socials, we've got Dragon's Nest Delivery, we've got Discord. I do believe the last thing, Christy, if you want to give a shout out to your geez, that was really gonna be condescending. I apologize.
Wow.
I stopped myself. Christy, if you want to give a shout out to your other project that you work on.
Yeah, so actually this Saturday, I will be streaming with a group called Ages of Ainor, AINOR, which is another D&D streaming group. And we are currently going through the Baldur's Gate Descent to Avernus module adventure, whatever you want to call it, which is like the prequel to Baldur's Gate 3. So if you've played Baldur's Gate 3 and hear them talk about the city of El Terrell being pulled down into Avernus, that is what we're playing right now. That just happened in game, and we are going through an emotional roller coaster, I will tell you right now. But we play every other Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern over on the Ages of Ainor Twitch, and this Saturday is the next stream. And you can also find Ages of Ainor over on YouTube and watch previous episodes to catch up. And I will tell you that it is a fantastic group of people from all over the world, and all ages. We play with a lady named Bonus Mom. If you've come across her on TikTok, she's kind of getting to be a big deal over there. But she is. She could be my mother, I'll put it that way. And she kind of is for the whole group, and I love her. But yeah, so if you want to see more of me, you want to see me play a sorcerer very badly, you can go over and see Ages of Ainor this Saturday at 5 p.m.
There we go. All right, so that is everything. So without further ado, let us get into actually playing the game. that video. So pretty.
It's so
Love that
pretty.
video.
It's so
It's
pretty. It's musical. It's musical. It's so good. Shout out to not regular birds, mind you, but some extraordinary birds.
Extraordinary birds and their
Yes.
music.
Yeah, and their music. They are. I've heard that they are, a flock above the rest when it comes to
Oh my god.
their.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, so welcome, folks. So for those that have been following along, this is I guess we're calling it the third chapter in this run of mini-series that we're doing. So basically so basically what we've done is we've taken 3 different Dragon's Nest Delivery one-shots and created basically a mini campaign out of it. So with different DMs, which is, the fun part about it. So we are essentially turning into the third and we'll probably call it final chapter of this mini series run, which is called A Stormy Night. So what?
My brain is very, very ADHD today, and it said because it's winter themed, so my brain
Right.
said, "Oh, stormy night," and
Stars
sorry.
are
They
bright.
shining.
No, they're not. It's storming.
It is the night of our
Alright.
game of D&D.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So we start with our heroes approaching from the south, which you folks can see the map on the board here, the wintry escape of Polar Pine. We have 3 heroes that are making their way from the south. Claire, would you like to describe your character as they walk along the path?
Yeah. So my character is forgetting my own character's name. I forgot her last name, but she's Callie. I forgot her last name, to be honest. But she is a half-elf fighter, so she looks very rough and tumble, and she's kind of being very watchful of her surroundings as she's walking, ready for an opportunity to fight at any second.
All right. Okay. Are you starting with any conversation with your party members as you walk up?
No, she's just kind of observing, really.
Okay. Calm and quiet.
She'll respond if someone talks to her, but she's observing.
Sure. Being mindful of the situation. I hear you. Devin, would you like to describe your character as they walk along the path?
Yes. My name is Florence I guess I should do it in accent. My name is Florence Jangleton. I am a half-elf ranger, and I've kind of been all over, but I have a mysterious past that only few know, mostly the one who's not here because he's DMing.
I better hear a few curiouses or a few. This one has an inquiry if you have a moment.
Yes. She's not necessarily to herself, but she's a very inwardly outgoing person. She's outgoing with the ones that she knows, but don't talk to her otherwise.
Sure.
Unless you just want a snide remark.
But then you have to be prepared for the Warforged sass.
Sorry, I have Christy internet. What'd you say?
What?
I have Christy internet. What'd you say?
Haha.
Christy.
Like, what did I do? I didn't do anything.
Dang it, Christy. As far as talking though, I would like to go. I'll look towards Anara and just say, well, I don't know how you've been in the past few months, but it's rather cold compared to the desert that we just left.
Inara, who is a 6-foot tall fawn, satyr, whatever you want to call, with brown hair with streaks of green in it and big green eyes. She's got like a scarf wrapped around her and like lots of flowy layers because it's cold, and is carrying a quarterstaff because she is a monk. She will just kind of shiver a little bit and say, well, this is much colder than it is in the Feywild. I was visiting some friends. It's been a while since I've been back, actually. It was quite nice. But it's like summer there, and this is very different. I'm not a fan of the cold. Makes my hooves chilly. And I get like, because I have to the two toes and the ice like builds up in the middle and it gets like itchy. I don't like it.
I would say try shoes, but I don't know that they're making for hooves.
I don't think they do. I've never seen shoes.
Maybe,
and I don't
maybe like a
usually...
sock?
I feel like my hooves are sharp enough that they would cut right through a sock. I think.
We should look into this.
Maybe. It would be nice to not catch the ice and snow in between my toes.
Does it make it cold?
It does. And if it's in there and sometimes it like balls up a little bit, like like a snowball.
Oh, gets stuck in your fur?
And then I can get bruises in there and that's very uncomfortable. So I had to stop and clean it out every once in a while.
Mate, I'm gonna be honest, that sounds absolutely just uninviting.
It's
I would
really not fun. I do not recommend it. That's why I don't really like the cold weather. I don't mind the cold so much. It's all the snow and the ice.
Oh, I love the snow. But yeah, no, that doesn't sound nice at all.
It's nice to look at, but like through a window when you've got a nice warm drink, or cocoa or tea or something.
I do want some cocoa now.
That would be lovely. We should see if we can find a tavern or something. I'm sure there's some place that here has cocoa here. I mean, every place I've ever been that has got weather like this has some kind of cocoa type sweet, hot drink.
You know what I'd take too? Some nice mulled wine.
Oh, that
sounds
So
delightful.
nice. Or mulled cider, that would be nice too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, we've got to find something now, because now I'm kind of hungry.
That's fair. What about you, Callie? What do you like for hot drink?
I mean, I usually just drink stuff at room temperature.
But what about when it's cold?
Yeah, what if the rooms are cold? What if the rooms are hot?
Then I guess I'm drinking something cold.
You don't like coffee or tea or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, I'll drink it, but generally I prefer whatever's offered to me. I mean, when I'm out there doing my shows and stuff, I get offered a lot of whiskey, and that's usually mostly what I drink, and that and water, because I got to stay hydrated for my fight. But
I suppose whiskey would warm you up in a very different way.
Interesting. Curious.
Oh, I miss
I have some if you want
Legionnaire. I wonder how he's doing.
I'm sorry if you guys hear Arnold bark. He's dreaming.
Oh, puppy. I'm all right now, but if we find a place that has, you have whiskey, you say? If we find a place that has maybe mulled cider, putting a little bit of whiskey in cider can be quite nice.
And with the thoughts of a warm drink filling your body, as well as reminiscing about previous party members, let's see how the approach to...
Who shall not be named.
Who shall not be named. Let's see how our approach to the village of Polar Pine goes. So the air becomes infused...
Polar bear.
Polar Pine. The air becomes infused with an unmistakable sense of merriment and anticipation. The landscape, blanketed in pristine snow, is dotted with cheerful villagers bustling about, each engaged in the preparations for an imminent celebration. The scent of evergreen wafts through the crisp, wintry air, hinting at the presence of towering Christmas trees adorned with shimmering ointments? Ornaments. Ointments. I gotta get my Christmas cream.
Whatever
It's
that is, that
peppermint
sounds wrong.
scented. It's peppermint scented. Focus. The village itself is a picturesque scene with quaint cottages adorned with colorful lights and wreaths. Streets lined with frosted lampposts guide the way, casting a warm glow on the snowy pathways. Children clad in winter attire build snowmen and engage in spirited snowball fights, their laughter harmonizing with the distant jingling of sleigh bells. As you draw nearer, the sound of carolers harmonizing in joyful melodies reaches your ears. The inviting aroma of freshly baked cookies and spiced cocoa emanates from the village bakery, tempting you with the promise of seasonal delights. Polar
I
Pine.
smell cocoa.
Polar Pine,
Freshly
a
baked
haven.
cookies. Yes, that sounds great.
Freshly, yeah, fresh with an R. Polar
You almost
Pine.
said flesh.
I did. I don't do. Clip it. I don't do well with reading. Okay.
We know.
Polar Pine, a haven of festive cheer nestled in the frosty embrace of the North Pole, welcomes you to partake in the magic of the approaching holiday season. You make your way in, and if you're in Roll20, you could see the layout of the town of Polar Pine. You are emerging from the south. So you are your first sight is these various houses that are decorated, children running about, playing, having fun, folks walking about trying to get themselves a preparation for the upcoming event. And the first larger building that you will see appears kind of close, is like the first of two kind of biggish town squares. And as you walk up, you see the path split and a big sign overhanging a very large inviting door that says the Icy Hearth Lodge.
I bet they
By the
have.
way,
hot
I'm not
cocoa.
in Roll20. I don't think I'm even on your thing.
Oh, okay. Let me make sure you're invited then. I will get that figured out momentarily. Okay. Anyway, continue, Inara.
Should we head to this lodge? Seems like a place that would have hot cocoa. I can smell it. It smells spicy. I've never had spicy cocoa before.
Oh, put some cinnamon in it. Oh, it's delicious.
Really? I've
Yeah.
only ever had it with like marshmallows.
I mean,
Yeah, I could really use a fire
on,
to
Mike.
dry these clothes out too. They're
mm.
getting kind of soggy.
Well, then let's not delay. Let's go. I'm just
All
gonna
right.
walk in.
All right.
I'll be right behind. Clip clop, clip clop.
All right. So, as you tread through the snowy lanes of Polar Pine, the icy Lodge emerges in the horizon. Okay. So, it's very pretty, very well decorated, very seasonal. Upon entering, you are greeted by the comforting warmth of crackling fires and the sweet fragrance of pine. The interior is adorned with festive decorations, from holly wreaths to dangling ornaments that sparkle in the lodge's soft illumination. The sound of cheerful chatter and the clinking of mugs resonate as patrons bundled in winter garments enjoy the hospitality of the lodge. The Icy Hearth Lodge provides a respite from the cold, offering a sanctuary where villagers and visitors alike gather to share stories, indulge in seasonal treats, and revel in the enchantment of Polar Pine's wintry charm. The atmosphere is filled with the spirit of camaraderie, making it an ideal place to immerse yourself in the joys of the holiday season.
A lot of people here.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you gotta stay warm. So I'm not gonna be too picky about it. More bodies, more warmth.
Fair, I guess.
Hey now. What kind of warmth you looking for?
What are you buying? What are you selling?
What time of day is it?
It's a little bit after breakfast time. Like, when you walk in, you see most people having, like, plates that are half-eaten, and you see, like, standard breakfast is, like, eggs and bacon. You also do see a lot of pastries. Most of the plates that you've seen upon walking in are, like, half eaten or mostly eaten. So it's right about like end of a reasonable breakfast time.
Could we still get breakfast?
Well, upon walking in, just to give you the lay of the land, you're coming into a whole bunch of tables. There is a fireplace on the right hand, a large, very large fireplace on the right hand side, and near the back there is a bar with folks sitting there. Some people doing the equivalent of hot chocolate with schnapps in it in the morning. And you do see a large, stocky male that appears to be engaging in conversation with a few different people while he's wiping down the bar. You do hear, as you walk in, you do hear a very loud, boisterous laugh coming from his direction.
He's probably the one to ask if we can still get breakfast.
I'm gonna go up and ask.
All right. So, you come across, like I said, this large, stocky human male. Definitely not, he's not, like, fat, but he's a bigger guy. But what you do see, especially when you see, him wiping down the bar and engaging with people, you definitely see muscles kind of bulging out of the shirt. Not, like, hulking out, but definitely, like, he's older guy that still stays in shape kind of motif.
Well, I've got daddy issues, so let's go.
That is awkward. Thank you.
That is way too much information, Florence. Way too
It's
much.
a character that I made. Of course they have daddy issues.
That's what we call an inside thought, not an outside thought, maybe?
Oh, no. They're all outside thoughts, let's be honest.
Fair.
That's true.
Have you met me?
I have, for better or for worse. Yes. So as you walk up, you see him wiping down the bar, and then you hear this voice say, you ready? So then I say, Baker, I hardly know her.
Oh my god.
This is where I quit.
Same.
What does that? I don't understand that joke. Baker,
I
I
don't-
hardly know her.
I don't want to know, really?
I bet Legionnaire would understand it.
I think Legionnaire would ask. I don't know that he would understand it, but he would
That's a
definitely
very good
ask.
point. So while everybody's laughing,
Legionnaire would
Inara's
spend
just
like 3 weeks analyzing that joke.
Probably.
Let's go.
Um,
The third episode would have been Legionnaire learns how to tell a joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like someone should ask him if he has an inquiry, if he has a moment.
Why not? Hello. I have an inquiry if you have a moment.
Oh! Look at this, fine folks. We have new guests. Welcome to the Icy Heath Lodge. It's always good to see some new faces around here. I love my steady eddies coming all the time, but they terrible tippers these days, so I always love some new faces coming in. Welcome to the wonderful town of Polar Pine. Now, what is your inquiry, my friend?
It was quite the introduction.
I'm quite the individual, if you haven't noticed. Ha ha ha!
Okay. Do you still serve breakfast?
Do we still serve breakfast? Does the sun come up in the morning and set every night? Do birds fly and sing? Do people fall in love? Of course we still serve breakfast. And then he gestures behind him to a chalkboard. Feel free to peruse. We have not updated to the lunch menu yet, so feel free to peruse and let me know what you are interested in. So, when he gestures behind him, you see 2 chalkboard signs, one labeled beverages and the other one labeled food. Would you like to inquire about food or beverages first?
Yes, both.
All right.
What about
Beverages.
beverages?
Beverages all around. So, there is a list of 5 different beverages for you to choose from. There is something called Frostberry Fizz that is written up there for 2 silver pieces. Something called an Aurora Elixir, that's for 3 silver pieces. The Polar Sunrise, which is 5 silver pieces. An Icicle Infusion, which is 1 silver piece. And a Snowfall Sip for 4 silver pieces.
It's my turn for an inquiry. Which one of those is the most like hot cocoa?
Oh, you're a fawn person, correct? Oh, don't get to see many of those around here. I love it. I love to see new fresh
Probably
faces
the
around.
snow.
That's a very good point. I've heard that when you get snow in your hooves, in your hooved area, I heard it can get kind of uncomfortable. That's what I heard. I've seen it happen with some horses, so he kind of peeks over. He says, I would is fair to assume you would run into a similar issue.
Mm-hmm.
Spend a lot of time thinking about hooves.
Well, you know, when you are pretty much the only lodge or tavern in town, you get a lot of traffic, a lot of foot travelers. So, you know, you hear conversations about folks talking about their horses.
Horses don't have a bihoof. They just have a singular hoof.
Still get
So-
ice and stuff caught in there, I imagine.
But it's one hoof.
Yeah,
It's not.
but it's not like
It's not a
have you ever
bihoof. There's no
looked at
knuckle.
the bottom of a horse's hoof. It's got like a little thing in there where there's like a V shape, and then the kind of like there's like a little notch, and you can get ice caught up in there sometimes. That's where they get rocks caught in there sometimes too. But sometimes the ice can get caught up in there too.
It's not a bihoof.
No, but there's still nooks and crannies.
Look at that! Not only are you folks new in town, you're also teaching me something I didn't know about. That's very appreciated. He reaches out his hand to you, Florence, and says, the name's Heward. Pleasure to meet you.
I take his hand and I say, hello, Heward. My name is Florence. And these are my compatriots.
And the handshake is firm and quite vigorous.
Okay. These are my compatriots. I'm Florence, and this is Anara and Chloe.
Callie.
Callie.
Wow, it's not
Don't
like
go
you
by
went through
Chloe
it.
anymore.
Yeah.
I combined Claire and Callie. Chloe.
And he does, and he does the same thing to the both of you. He extends his hand. It's a firm handshake, not like crushing, but firm and very vigorous. And he even will do the double hand. And you're I know
hand.
you're 6 foot.
Florence is 5'9".
Florence is 5'9", so his hand is he's like even taller than Inara, so his hand pretty much envelops yours, even at your height.
Tall, but
Lifts
Slightly.
Sanara up.
Yeah. No, it's not quite that bad, but let's just say he'd be like eye level with Legionnaire. He's a big guy. He says, oh, it's just a pleasure to meet everybody here. So you, my friend, asked about what the closest was to hot cocoa. So that would be our Snowfall Sip. It is a creamy chocolate hot cocoa topped with whipped frost and chocolate shavings. It's highly recommended, and if you want to pay an extra copper piece, you can also get a peppermint straw with it.
I will definitely be doing that.
Wonderful. And you see him kind of take out a little notepad, flip it open, and jot that down. And for you two fine folks?
What exactly is the Aurora one?
Ah, the Aurora Elixir. That is a wonderful choice. That is a mesmerizing blend of enchanted herbs and iced citrus flavors. Think of it as kind of like a cold brew, you know? Like a cold herbal tea, if you will.
Paradise one.
There is not a paradise one. There is a
There was
polar
one on there
sunrise.
that sounded like a sex on the beach.
Polar sunrise prize.
I think that's it. What's the polar sunrise?
Sex on the beach.
Dungeons-
My friend,
the
we have
Dungeons
to.
and Dragons sex
We
on
need
the
to at
beach.
least go on a date before we get to that point. Plus, I
Oh
hope
my
you
God.
don't mind getting snow in your.
was-
Anyway, girl, polar sunrise. All right, so polar. I'm sensing a theme with you. So the polar sunrise is a warm and invigorating mix of spiced tea with a hint of cinnamon and citrus. Can be served both warm and both hot and cold, depending upon your preference.
I would like that hot, please.
All right. And for you, my friend.
Maybe it'll melt the snow.
Yeah, I'll go with
I hope it does.
same thing Florence got.
So that will be
Just
two.
because the name sounds intriguing.
So 2 polar sunrises and 1 snowfall sip with the peppermint straw.
Yes, of course.
All right. So he jots all that down and says, all right, I will get working on your drinks. Feel free to peruse the food menu and let me know if you have any questions or concerns when I get back. And he kind of walks to the other end of the bar to start getting the ingredients and, start making his drinks. Does it with a little bit of a flurry, not like full on cocktail, like flipping behind and all that, but he definitely putting on a little bit of a show. So,
What's on the food menu?
wonderful you asked. So on the food menu, you have, once again, 5 options. You have an evergreen eclair for 1 silver piece, an Arctic apple dumpling for 2 silver pieces, frostbite fritters for 2 silver pieces, a glacial goiza for 2 silver pieces, and penguin puffs for 1 silver piece.
Penguin puff.
Puff.
What's a penguin puff?
If you want, you can either wait until he gets back with the drinks, or if you want to, make conversation with one of the folks next to you, you could probably ask them.
Looks to the person next to me. What? Why did I turn Scottish?
Hey!
Once every second. Once every second. I look at the person next to me. What the f is a penguin puff?
The penguin.
Yeah.
The penguin puff? Oh, let me tell you something. It sounds like it would. It sounds something that would be really intimidating, especially if you're not used to it. What it is it's really good cheese puff. But it comes with a dip that is mixed with like herbs. I don't know what his secret ingredients are, but I don't know if it's him or his wife that does it, but it's so good. But I do know that what makes it fun is they do shape it into like little penguins.
So cute.
It's pretty cute. I would say sometimes he goes a little bit overboard, especially when it's off season, but in the spirit of Christmas right now, he goes full board. Him and his family, they go full board when it comes to stuff like this. So it's great. Definitely recommend
It's not made of like real penguin.
Kind of looks at you and says, "No, like penguins are they're not endangered around here, and they're not like sacred, but around here penguins are considered like, you don't touch the penguins, you don't mess with the penguins, because penguins are very loved and appreciated around here." So.
No, that's why I ask, because it seems that it would be kind of strange to have actual penguin in there.
Oh yeah. No, I mean you folks strike me as new in town, so it's a completely fair question to ask in that context. But nope. No real penguin. If you see penguins around here at all in your travels in the area, make sure you treat them with reverence and respect. Because they're kind of treated with reverence and respect. They're not worshipped, but they're like, people care for them.
So there's no secret penguin cult out there?
All hail penguin.
The animal nerd in me, I must point out, penguins
God.
do not live in the North Pole, but that's okay.
Don't
Nobody
blow
lives
my
on
hopes and
North Pole.
dreams, Christy.
Wait, are you saying that as the fawn person, or are you saying
No.
that?
Inara has no idea. She's from the Feywild. For all she knows, penguins live everywhere.
She still doesn't even know what a penguin is.
Not really.
So to your inquiry, Claire, the person you talked to will kind of be like, I mean, I have not heard about a penguin cult, but there's some people that really like them, is what I will say.
Curious.
Curious. So at this point, Heyward does come back with your drinks and sets them down. It says, all right, here are your drinks. Let me know what you think. And do you folks have any questions about the menu?
Well, I don't have a question. I just want the apple dumplings.
Absolutely. Make
Apple
that 2,
duck.
please.
All right. Would you like them warmed or hot?
What's the difference?
Well,
Why did I get Scottish there?
warmed basically just means we take them off of the warming plates sooner than hot. Some people prefer them just like, when they bite into it, like biting into a mouthful of lava or something like that.
That's the one I want. I want it to burn my mouth when I bite into it.
All right, so hot apple dumplings. He writes that down in the same slip of paper. And for you? Looking at you, Florence.
Oh, same.
Callie.
Same thing.
Okay. And then he turns to you, Callie, and says, all right. And for you?
Same thing.
Same thing. All right. 3 orders of hot apple dumplings. Maybe a little bit of a wait because we want to make sure we get them up to the suitable temperature for you. So
That's fine. How much was that? I missed the price.
If you look back up on the board, it is 2 silver pieces.
How much total for the drink and the...
Let's see. The Polar Sunrise was 5, and then the apple dumplings is 2 silver.
I'm just gonna take out a gold and leave it on the counter for him.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Let me. I'll take this now, and then let me go get to change for you.
No, I don't need change.
Nope, same. Keep it.
Kylie's gonna keep change. The gold piece as well.
He looks at the 3 of you. That's what the spirit of the holidays is all about right there. Thank you so much, my friends. Thank you so much. Ha ha ha! And then he walks to the, so when he was facing you, he walked to the right to make the drinks. This way he walks to the left and kind of goes around the corner. You see like a swinging door that goes to the back.
Inara's gonna take her drink and go sit by the fire. If there's a seat by the fire.
Give me a quick
Perception check.
Perception check. Why not?
Oh.
Hold up.
And I see the people? Who knows? Can I use my passive?
Holy mackerel. That is a nat 20 for a total of 28.
You see God.
Yeah, like, it is not a problem for you to, actually, you walk over and
you actually spot a penguin in the bar.
So, you walk over and you, initially don't see anybody at first, so you go to turn around, but last minute out of the corner of your eye, you see, a group of, like, 4 people get out, there's, like, 2 love seats. That are kind of close to the fire. Looks like 2 are sitting on one, 2 on the other. You see them all at the corner of your eye last minute. You see them get up and kind of start making their way to the bar to either order another round of drinks or something like that. So there's 2 love seats right next, pretty close to the fire, readily available for you.
Inara is going to just go sit in one. She has no concept of dibs.
I mean, I think she just did dibs.
It's an empty seat. I'm sitting in it.
I'm gonna choose to sit on the actual fireplace itself, like on the stone landing of it.
Wow, okay.
So, to warm my back.
Okay. So,
And
because...
Inara's gonna prop her feet up so that the ice between her toes can melt.
Okay. Claire, what you doing?
Claire's just gonna. No, Callie is just kind of hanging out.
Callie's just what? Sorry.
Just kind of hanging out at the bar.
Oh, okay. Wow. A little early to be splitting the party, eh, folks?
No.
You're like 20 feet away. Come on.
Listen,
That's
20 feet is sometimes all it takes, okay?
What's
you
your
really want to know what my movement speed is as a level 16 monk?
what's your
You
passive
want to
perception?
know what mine is? As it's the same as it was at level 10. And it's the same as it was before that. It's the same as level 1. It's 30.
All right. All right.
Rangers are not great.
Oh, stop it. They're awesome.
All
All right.
You say?
So, Florence, when you first sit down on the heath, you start noticing it's not obviously not like hot to the point where you can't sit down, but it's pretty much as soon as you sit down, you start feeling the warmth, on your legs as you sit there, and then the heat does gradually start, flowing onto your back. Inara, you prop your hooves up, and it's almost instantaneously where you start seeing snow melting away. And even though they're hooves, something in your head still feels that warmth. Whether it's you're feeling it on the rest of your legs.
Through
There are
hooves.
nerve.
Oh, you can?
There's nerve endings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
It's like spongy.
Yeah.
You're spongy.
Tony's
Tony
not a
really
horse
is
girl. He
learning
doesn't know
all
these
sorts of things
I
about
am.
hooves today.
I am, and
I'm gonna get some pictures of hooves and put them in the Discord chat.
I guess
Whoa.
I guess this one
You should
is
charge money for that.
Look, we're not running an only hooves here, okay? So we need to just chill.
Exactly what I was thinking. I'm gonna start my own only hooves.
Oh my lord.
Hoof it on over to the fireplace, and you'll see some.
Wow.
Money is money.
It really is.
Only fonts.
Only fonts.
Thank
Oh
you, Jess.
no. Oh man.
Shout out to the
Of course
the
it's
best.
Oh
right.
Lord.
All right, so Inara and Florence, while you're sitting there feeling the warmth and feeling, kind of those extremities to start warming up again, what kind of conversation are you two having, if any, with each other?
I think at first Inara's just like sipping her
Yeah.
hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Like she'll try to drink it through the straw, the peppermint straw, but if you ever try to drink a hot drink through a straw, for some reason it gets even hotter. So she like burns the back of her mouth a little bit. And so then she'll just kind of like stir and then drink.
I'll look at her and just like visibly relax and just kind of, I think I like your winter better. This is
winter?
definitely, well, yeah, staying inside with the warmth and the warm drinks and the fire, and it's nice. It's really
cozy.
nice.
It's so
Very
much better.
cozy.
Because then you can look out the window and you see the pretty snow. Because snow is pretty, I will say. It's pretty to look at, not to be in.
I like to be in the snow. There is something blissful about coming in from the cold and getting to like warm up and like just have that like coolness literally melt off of you. It's quite nice.
I can see that, I suppose, but I don't know, because when the room is chilly and then you like have a blanket that you can wrap up in with your warm drink. Like, I think I like that better.
But then you get hot.
I suppose so, but then you just take the blanket off.
But then you get cold.
And then you put the blanket back on again. This is not I do not see a problem with this.
You're right. And at that, I'm gonna move from the hearth to the chair and sit next to her.
All right, cool. All right, and while that exchange is going on, Callie, what are you doing while you sit there drinking your warm drink and feeling the dampness of your clothes start to dry out?
Kylie's just kind of taking a look around at the people, like townsfolk and stuff, and just seeing if she can gauge anything about them, like, or like their demeanor or anything.
Okay. give me a perception check, please and thank you.
I ain't seeing shit. It's 4.
4. So you're still you're still warming up from your long journey, and you're, still kind of annoyed because your clothes are still wet. But when you do take a glance around, you see general merriment. I mean, people enjoying the last of their breakfast, chit-chatting about what they're going to do for the rest of the day, storytelling. You hear a couple conversation pieces about, people talking about, no, well, my house has the brightest lights in the neighborhood. And the other one said, well, yeah, your wreath isn't as big as my wreath. My wreath is the biggest wreath in all of town. And, conversations like that. Nothing too conspicuous stands out to you.
And
It's not the size of the wreath, it's how you display it.
Exactly.
Can I do a perception check and just kind of people watch?
Sure. If you would be so kind.
Can I use my passive?
No.
I'm just gonna ask every time because I actually have a good passive perception for once. It'll be 23.
23. As you turn to kind of do just a scan of the room, you're feeling warm, you're feeling relaxed. So you can really take your time and scan the room to see. You see a lot of the same things that Callie did. People telling stories, talking about how their day is gonna go, wrapping up their story, wrapping up their breakfast, stuff like that. However, you also notice, which Callie missed with her initial scan, a frail old man wearing a brownish robe, holding a cane. As soon as your eyes fall upon him when doing your scan, he immediately locks eyes with you and gets up, and he's at a table about 2 or 3, he's at a table kind of sitting by himself about 2 or 3 tables over. You see him slowly get up and start making his way over to you and Inara.
Okay.
And on that, I figured that's a good place for us to take a break. So, what can I say, cliffhanger?
It could have been, and that's where we'll end for the night,
Exactly. So,
Very early.
yes. So we will be right back. We're gonna take a short break. So go get a drink, go get something to eat, go potty, and then enjoy this lovely and we will be back. Bye.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seemed to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
fine.
usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
What
the door.
Why did you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
so. Yeah.
He is indeed a natural.
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging bodies down the road on your car?
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down the road. They're on
We
like
made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not
Jeffrey,
a
that's
mu-
the dog. That's the dog.
Well,
You
thank you for telling me, Ta-ta!
Did you hear that, my
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind
Good
of
to
like,
see it.
yep, he, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really?
I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, go start.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah, that's very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord. Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Oh, yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive.
So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
Is that in here?
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value, Matt.
Mert Master.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
Bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my God.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There
It
you
needs
go.
to be done. And I have a
Alright.
trench coat.
All right, but I'm.
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
fine.
usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You got a tongue in the door. Why did you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
so. Yeah.
He is indeed a natural.
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
didn't just leave them in the
Oh.
woods. Yeah.
You're dragging
Okay.
bodies down the road on your cart?
We're not
We
dragging them
made
down
a-
the road. They're on
We
like
made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not.
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Well,
Did you
thank
hear
you
it
for telling
in your
me,
mind?
Tasha.
Did you hear that in my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So,
Oh!
but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it. That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love
I-
it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind
Good
of
to
like,
see it.
yep, he, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls
it?
it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really?
I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. Go start.
Now this goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream.
okay.
Okay, hey, we back.
Hey.
Hey, welcome back, folks. I hope your snack, potty, drink break went well. Mine went great. My kids are still alive.
Hopefully not all at the same time, but you know you
Are
do.
you eating a toilet over there? A snack potty?
You eat and drink on the toilet.
Gross.
That's what he
efficient.
meant.
It's really efficient, you know?
Gross.
Whatever. So,
Whatever.
all right. So around the time that this older gentleman starts making his way to your to you and Inara, Florence, Callie, He-Word does come out with a couple plates full of food. Sweet appley, cinnamony deliciousness wafting from these plates he's carrying in his arms. He walks up to you and says, did you want me to take your plates to your compatriots with you, or are you going to be eating on your own?
I mean, I was just gonna chill here. Then she looks at them, and I assume she can see this dude walking up to him.
Yeah. At this point, you start seeing him make his way over.
Or not. Give me a sec, and she's gonna walk.
Okay. Walk to them or him?
Yeah. Well, walk to him, both of them, or all of them, or everyone. She just sees this dude walking up to them, so she's like,
okay, all right. So we'll assume you're walking over to Inara and Florence.
yeah.
Okay. So, what's your passive perception, Callie?
The keyboard turned off again.
No, ¿por qué, Maria?
Now I gotta open up my character sheet on my phone. $12.
12. Okay. So with a 12, when you turn, as you're turning to like kind of walk to your friends, you notice Heward, like he sees this older individual, this older man get up and start walking over, and you just see him kind of go, and he follows you with the plates of food for you and your compatriots. So because the old man moves a little bit slow, you and Heward actually beat him to Inara and Florence. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. And so he hands you
Reaches out
the
her
plate.
hand for the plate.
Yep.
Grab your hands.
Yep. So, you get the same aura that that Callie got. It's a little bit of cinnamon. You see like the steam is almost billowing off of these because you asked for them to be hot. You get a scent of honey along with it as well. Just like all of those warm, fuzzy feelings, you just enter through your nose and almost envelop your whole face at this point. So he hands you each one of the plates. Surprisingly, even though you ordered the apple dumplings hot, the plate themselves are not hot. So he hands the plates to you, takes a couple forks out of a little apron he's wearing, and hands each one of you a fork. And says, enjoy, and let me know, obviously, if there's any refills or anything else you need help out with. And as he turned,
thank you.
My pleasure. And as he turns to walk away, the older gentleman with the cane finally makes his way over to you. And you just and you two notice the same thing that Callie did with him just doing like a whatever, and then kind of walk away.
Who, Hayward does that?
Yeah, Heward.
Or
Yeah.
Heward, sorry.
Yeah. No, I think I pronounced it wrong too. So Heward does like an eye roll, just kind of like fine. This guy again, and then walks away.
Oh. I don't think Inara notices because she's busy like shoveling food in.
Sure.
Florence has kept an eye on him, like
She didn't
peripherally.
notice him, so.
Yeah. Okay. Callie, do you say anything, as you approach your friends?
No. I'm just gonna plop right next to him.
Okay. All right. So those two are on one love seat. I'm guessing you guys are.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll just sit. There's another love seat that's right next to him, so you'll just pop down on that. As you walk up, or as you're sitting there eating your food, this older gentleman finally makes his way over to you. Now that he's a little bit closer, you see that he's a elderly elven man. You've seen elves, and elves tend to age very gracefully, but the wrinkles and the way that this man seems to be carrying himself, he's got to be ancient. So he walks up with his cane and says, "Excuse me, young lady." Making eye contact with you, Florence.
Can I answer in Elvish?
You sure can.
Okay. I would like to say, first off, wouldn't you all be impressed if I just spoke in Elvish? But
Second
you're not
off,
gonna be,
because
'cause
I'm
I
not.
can't. I'm not, because I'm not that cool.
What does Australian Elvish sound like?
Cooler than American Elvish. That's for sure. I'm gonna just say, hello, sir, how are you?
His eyes pop up a little bit, and he responds back to you in Elvish. "Oh, a speaker of the old tongue, I see. Very pleasant to meet you."
It's very pleasant to meet you as well. How can I help you?
Oh, before we go any further, do either one of you, Callie and Inara, know Elvish, or can you
Callie
comprehend?
should. She's a half
Pretty
elf.
sure Callie does.
Okay, just making sure.
Inara is so cool she can understand any language at this point.
Oh, okay.
That is a monk thing called, let me find it, Tongue of the Sun and Moon.
Called
you
haha.
You understand
Okay.
all spoken languages, and any creature that can understand a language can understand what you say.
Just like, okay.
It's a high level monk thing. I got it when I leveled her up. I'm
There you
like,
go.
all right.
Okay,
And she
Inara
also
is God.
spoke Elvish like originally also.
So I also know what Inara was doing during that time she was gone. She enrolled in some Duolingo classes. That's what I'm hearing.
And she whooped their butts.
Yeah.
Lots of
Maybe a little
Duolingo.
Rosetta Stone on the side.
It's all of the online language learning and a
Yeah.
lot of meditation to let it sink in.
Sending
That's it.
stone. A lot of sending stone classes. Got it.
Yep.
All right. So
God, how awful would that be? Because isn't that like 25 words at a time?
yeah,
God.
those lessons would take forever. All right.
Yeah.
So
It's a good thing time moves differently in the Feywild.
exactly. Yeah. It was like 6 years, but for her it was like 6 minutes.
It was
It's been 84
years.
years.
So the gentleman, so the older gentleman, still speaking in Elvish, says, "Well, it's very pleasant to meet you. My name is Ronald, and around here I am known as something of a riddle master. So I have not seen you around town before, and I've lived here for many moons. And I was wondering if you would like to hear a few riddles and see if your mind is wise enough to be able to figure these riddles out."
I know we kind of struggled with riddles a while
I'll
back.
say that I am not a person of learning in that direction.
Yeah, okay. Let's hear him.
Wonderful. It's not often I get to tell these riddles to new faces, and this brain, though very large and very old, can only contain so many riddles. It's fun. It's always fun to give new faces a challenge. And I'll tell you, if you answer the riddles correctly, there may be a prize, as it is the Christmas spirit.
I'm all in for prizes. I like things.
It's all about the
You
gift
wouldn't
of
think
giving.
that for a monk, but I like things.
Oh, you're a monk, you say? What school did you study?
It's not really a particular school. I studied under a master who was all about the balance of the mind and the heart, and balance of nature and progress, and balance of literally standing on one foot sometimes. It kind of depended. Yes, he was a little tedious on occasion, but I spent many years learning from him, and so I say that my school is not a school particularly, or a particular deity the way that some monks follow, but more of a student of the world, I like to say.
Well, that must mean that your mind is of even balance, which would be perfect for solving riddles, as you are a plain thinker, not devolved in the ways of overanalyzing. You see an answer, you see in a problem, and you wish to solve it in the quickest, most efficient way possible.
Especially if it involves poking it with a stick.
That wasn't him. That was actually me coughing. Sorry.
Fooled me. Fooled me.
All right. Now, I do have two simple rules when it comes to my riddles. The first rule is there is no time constraint, so you feel free to take as long as you wish. However, only one person may give an answer, so be sure of your answer before you give it. So, here is your first riddle. Brought to the table, cut and served, never eaten.
Should you repeat the question?
Absolutely. Brought to the table, cut and served, never eaten.
Served, never eaten. Wow. I'm not good at riddles at all. Brought to the table, cut and served. Never eaten. Wow, I cannot think. I can think of some things that fit some of it, but not all of it.
Right.
And I will say also, there is no harm in passing. I can still give give gifts if you only answer some of them correctly.
Does anybody have any ideas?
Are we allowed to talk amongst ourselves?
Oh yes.
Before we
You can
answer
talk amongst. You can talk amongst yourselves. However, only one person may give the answer.
Okay. Part of me wants to say... I'm like huddling closer to them. Part of me wants to say... cut and served.
Thinking like appetite, you bring your appetite to the table, but you don't eat it. But you also don't cut or serve it, really. Any guesses from chat?
Actually, River Watcher says cards.
Ooh, cards.
But the
Brought to the
dealt,
table.
not served.
Yeah, you don't serve cards. Brought to the table, cut and served.
But never eaten.
It's the served part that's killing me here. Cut and served. Brought to the table, cut and served.
It's gonna be obvious. It's gonna be so obvious.
It's probably going to be something
It always
obvious.
is. It always is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut and served. Never
I don't know.
eaten.
Never
If you
eaten. Cut
and he sees you kind of like mulling over and being like, "Is this? I don't know." And he does say, "Well, if you would like to ponder that one on a later in a little bit, I can provide you the second riddle. If you would like
yes.
to skip
okay.
that
Let's
one
hear
for
the
now."
next
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I give mirth and merriment, And they say I smell quite old. But I can turn a timid man into one that is quite bold.
What mirth and merriment? Can you say it again?
Absolutely. I give mirth and merriment. And they say I smell quite old. But I can turn a timid man into one that is quite bold.
Quite
Anyone else thinking alcohol?
Yeah, I was thinking like a brandy
too.
or something.
Like a alcohol, but does alcohol smell old?
I mean,
Some.
it's like aged wine.
Yeah.
Although I've never heard anyone describe any alcohol as smelling old.
I've had some that smelled like or tasted like the smell of dirty socks, but that's not quite the same thing. Shout out to Malort, anybody that's ever been to Chicago.
Hard pass.
It's so gross.
So, with it smelling old, though, if you think of like a musk, like some bourbons and brandies have a musk to them that some would equate to smelling old or being old. Like it's what ages.
Oh, like maybe a really peaty scotch. Kind
Right.
of maybe smells a little old.
Is that our answer? Is it alcohol?
That's the best answer I got. I don't know what else. Smelling
Okay.
old. Mirth and merriment. I don't know.
Do you have an answer, my friends?
Well, I believe it to be alcohol.
He sits for a moment, gets a big old grin across his face, and says, "You are correct! Well done!"
Thank you.
And the third riddle. In the form of fork or sheet, I hit the ground. And if you wait a heartbeat, you can hear my roaring sound.
Or she hit the ground. Can you repeat it one more time?
Absolutely. In the form of fork or sheet, I hit the ground. And if you wait a heartbeat, you can hear my roaring sound.
Well, that sounds like a thunderstorm. A fork of lightning, a sheet of rain. Lightning hits the ground, so does rain, and then you hear thunder a little bit later.
And it's better than what I was coming up with because I was thinking of silver forks and silver sheets.
A tree? Like a tree hitting the ground? I hit the ground, but why the heartbeat? Wait, a heartbeat, and then you hear a roaring sound.
Like a sound comes after.
Because sound is delight.
Ah, yes, but there's no one in the woods to hear.
There's a bear shit in the woods.
Does the tree falling still make a sound? I don't know. What is the sound of one hand clapping? I don't know. I got lost in my own sad monk riddle there.
Maybe like a like lightning, like a thunder.
Lightning
That's
and the
thunder?
thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Sorry.
That's
Thank
what
you.
I was thinking, like a lightning storm. Is lightning in a sheet? Can you have sheet lightning?
But is it both? Is it both lightning and thunder? Because technically, in the form of a fork or a sheet, I hit the ground. That's the lightning. But then it changes to thunder. Because that's the roaring sound.
And I was going to say like a lightning storm, because then it kind of encompasses all of that.
Okay.
Do you have an answer, my friends?
Yes, a lightning storm.
He gets a big old grin and says, "You are correct! You are such a clever group. Well done. Now, would you like to revisit the first riddle?"
Yes.
Sure.
One more time for you. Brought to the table, cut and served, never eaten.
The only thing I can think of is appetite. Even though it doesn't really fit the cut and served part, but that is the closest I can think of.
We hit him, you know, pretty much instantly, so let's not overthink it. I guess. Brought to the table, cut and served, never eaten.
Can whet an appetite.
Do you have an answer, my friends?
Not quite yet.
What do you think,
Maybe
Callie?
it's something in liquid form and you drink it.
But you don't cut liquid.
Well, actually, that's not true. You can cut liquid. You can cut wine with water to make it weaker. So maybe wine?
Wine?
Guess this is as good as anything.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, if we fail one of them, do we get a majority for the prize, or is it completion or not?
He looks at you, and he says, "Well, you'll have to find out upon providing the answer to the third riddle."
Curious. Wine?
So he does give a little, like, aw shucks look, and says, "Well, unfortunately, that one was playing cards."
Playing cards. Do you serve playing cards? I've never heard this
You
referred
serve
to as
them.
sporting.
You serve them to the players playing at the table because you are handing them out. You serve them
Called
to the other players.
Dealing, though. It's not serving, it's dealing.
Also, cutting
The
really
cards
doesn't
you're
make
dealt.
sense.
Well, you
Wait,
can
wait,
you cut the deck.
I've cut cards before. You like cut it in half, you know. But I definitely never. Well, fair enough. They're your riddles. So,
And you do raise a valid point about the serving. I will give you that. But for answering 2 out of 3 correctly, I will still reward your efforts. So you see him reach into his robe, pull out a pouch, open it up.
It's a gun.
Blah, blah, blah. Call 911,
idea.
but not for me.
I have an idea. Didn't you all in your desert adventures like have some riddles or something? You said something about riddles and some
We did.
lady lion thing. Why
So,
don't you?
he opens
If
it-
we can ask you a riddle that you don't answer, or like bargain a riddle, if you can answer one of ours, then we get the full 3 prizes.
Didn't write them down.
He closes the sack. It says, I am always looking for more riddles, so if you have one you wish to provide, if I am able to answer it, then rewarded you shall be.
I don't remember any of them, and I didn't write them down.
I mean, I have one off the top of my head I could ask, I suppose.
What's 2 plus 2?
That's not a riddle. That's just math.
And he turns to you, Callie, and says, feel free, ask away.
Alright, I mean, this one might be easy for you if you're coming up with riddles all the time. But maybe it won't, and we'll get lucky.
My old man brain may not be as sharp as our friend Monk here.
Well, it looks like sharp brains haven't really helped us out, but, you know.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, very well. What is... I am always running, and I never walk. And I have a mouth, but I cannot talk.
I've got it. I've got it.
Shh! And she smacks Florence in the shoulder.
Sorry.
He sits there and he thinks. He thinks for a while. And he kind of chuckles. I will admit, friend, you did have me stumped for a moment there. I had to go deep into the recesses of my brain. But anyone can properly deduce with the time and thinking it through that you are clearly speaking of a river.
I knew that.
Well done, my friend. Well done. But for engaging in an old man's entertainment, amusement, if you will, I shall reward you nonetheless. And the bag he'd closed when you said about like, oh, there's a riddle. He opens it up, fishes in for a second, and pulls out a smooth like emerald type stone. It's not an emerald itself, but it does have that color and hue to it. And
it's a melted down beer bottle.
Not quite. He hands it to Florence. And he says, "This is a stone of good luck. I give it to you. It's whether its true powers are known or not. Some people claim to it work magic and wonders. Some people claim it as folly. But what I know is that I give it to you as a token of new friendship. And as a gift for coming in and stopping to the lovely Polar Pine Village."
Thank you. It was a pleasure, making your acquaintance.
The pleasure is all mine. It is not often that we get a lot of new faces around here, so I appreciate you humoring an old man. So
Sure, there will be many more riddles in our life, so you have given us good practice.
Wonderful to hear. It's very much appreciated, and I wish you the best of luck on your journeys. And he kind of bows his head a little bit, puts the pouch back on the underneath his robe, and you see him start making his way over to the door. As he, right before he does get to the door, he just popped the hood up on his robe and makes his way outside.
Weird. That feels weird. For an old man to just wander around asking people riddles, that seems weird. I will admit that I am not the most, experienced in the world as far as social interactions go, but that seemed weird.
I mean, he's old.
I don't disagree. Yeah, that man had to be ancient.
Yes, I know elves can live for a really long time, and he looks really old.
Really know what to do now.
So at this point, Heward does walk over and says, "Have you finished with your food, folks? Can I take those plates and cups out of your way? Does anybody need any refills?"
Oh, hold on just a sec, and she'll lick the plate. Hand it to him.
I'm gonna take that as the best form of compliment possible. Thank you, my friend.
I just wanted to make sure that I got all of that sauce. It was so good.
Wonderful to hear. Was the heat sufficient for you? I know you did like it piping hot.
Perfect.
It was great.
Perfect.
Wonderful to hear. Are we going to be needing another round of drinks? Maybe something a little bit harder to get in the Christmas spirit?
I mean, we could, but we were also just talking about what else there is to do. What else is there in the town that is of interest? It seems like people are getting ready for a celebration.
Well, yes.
Are there shops to visit, or sites that the town is known for, maybe?
Well, I don't know what. Oh my God, I'm gonna do it. I don't know what big city you folks come from, but here in Polar Pine, I turned southern. Not
Polar
to
Pine.
declare.
Polar Pine.
Polar Pine. We do really only have like, let's be honest, like 4 shops here. So most people, our big tourist attraction is the annual Christmas celebration. I don't know if you've made it all the way to the big city square, a little bit north in town, but we have a big Christmas tree set up where we have carolers and people celebrating. There's some vendors over there, things like that. If you're looking for just to stop in, I would recommend the Frosty Finds. That is the, to be frank, the only shop in town for, as like a general goods store or anything like that. If you're looking for armaments or to get, tools or armor worked on, there is Bry's, he thinks for a second. Oh, sorry, Bray's Iron Works. That's a little bit north of town off of the main square. And then, like I said, outside of that shop and the ironworks, the big attraction is the Christmas tree in the center square. This is a heavily wooded area, but you will not see a bigger, more grandiose tree than the Christmas tree that was chopped down this year. And the decorations are beautiful. You'll see some vendors over there, people singing, just enjoying themselves. So it's really up to you as to what you're looking for at this time. Are you looking to stay for a night or two, or are you looking just to pass on through?
Let's see where today takes us. We can explore the town a little bit. And do you have rooms available should we decide to stay?
Oh, absolutely.
At least take the day.
Yeah.
We've been traveling a while.
And if we come back, then we will graciously take you up on a room.
Absolutely. Wonderful to hear. And we are, I will say, we are busier than this is our busiest time of the year, but we always have rooms open for folks coming in for the first time. And I do hope that old Ronald there didn't pester you too much. He's a bit of a eclectic individual, we'll say.
Not at all. It's just some riddles, and we won. So he gave us a little trinket.
Well done. He doesn't get to hand out riddles and awards much these days because everybody's heard his riddles like 40 or 50 times at this point. He means well.
Is it always the same reward? The good luck stone?
Well,
Stone of good luck?
Oh, the Stone of Good Luck. That's the theme of the month for him. Okay, that works. Sometimes it's a Stone of Good Luck. Sometimes it's a Stone of Favor. Sometimes he changes it up. Some people claim what he gives them works. Some people claims it doesn't. The true matter of the fact is, it comes from a good place. He's just a kooky old man that enjoys people's company, and he enjoys people's company through riddles for some weird reason.
Do you figure he is?
Oh, go ahead.
How old do you think he is?
He kind of leans in and he says, "My friend, he probably has outlived many of the mountains here. No one really knows. He chit-chats with people in the bar or in the lodge. You see him about town. He's always jovial and cordial to everyone, but he's the type of man that doesn't really talk about himself or his past. But I'll tell you right now, some of these forests aren't as old as he is."
Would be willing to bet.
Yes. All right. Well, once again, let me know if he's like got your plates and your cups if you've drank all your drink at this point. And he says, "Well, let me know if there's anything else you'd want in terms of food or drink. Otherwise, feel free to peruse the town, and I hope you enjoy your visit to Polar Pine.
Thank you.
And he turns around and walks away. At this point, the lodge still has like a number of people in it, but it's definitely like the crowd is thinned out since breakfast is, wrapped up, and most people have gone about their day. So, but the fire is still roaring, and the warmth of the drink and the food and the fire, everyone is just feeling good. They're just feeling good.
Well, I have to admit that I sure would like to curl up on this couch and take a nap right now. But we're here. We should maybe see some of the town, I guess.
Yeah, I think that would be nice. Maybe we can go to the store and see if we can find you some nice socks or something.
Oh, that's a good idea. Or
Something
maybe
happy.
if we can't find anything at the store, maybe that armament place can, or the Ironworks can make like a bottomed shoe kind of thing that my hooves won't cut through.
Yeah. Well, it's worth a look.
Yeah.
All right. So you head out the door. Are you going to the Ironworks or the shop first?
Probably the shop first.
Yeah.
Okay. So the town is, small enough that, they have a couple signs posted like town square this way, shop this way, armor this way, blacksmith this way. So what you do is you make your way through the streets and you come across a building heading east of the lodge. You come across a small building with with a sign over it that is, lively decorated, called the Frosty Finds. So, flavor text. As you step into the Frosty Finds, the tinkling sound of a bell hanging above the door announces your arrival, and the warmth of the shop embraces you. The interior is a delightful mishmash of holiday charm and practicality. To your left, sturdy winter coats hanging from a wooden rack, adorned with snowflake patterns and lined with fur to ward off the chill. The shelves on the right display an array of frost-resistant gear, from enchanted boots designed for icy terrains to snow goggles that promise clear vision in a snowstorm. In the center of the shop, a festive display catches your eye. Colorful ornaments, twinkling lights, and miniature snowmen create a winter wonderland that contrasts with the more rugged equipment on the surrounding shelves. A cozy corner near the counter showcases thermoses containing steaming hot beverages, inviting you to sample the magically heated drinks that promise to stave off the biting cold. So when you walk in, there's a mishmash of people here. Most of them are over by the frost-resistant gear, testing out durability of stuff like that. And then there's a couple kids that are like kind of sitting around like the middle ornament setup and kind of giggling and, just enjoying the display without causing a ruckus.
Is anyone else thinking, "Ooh, big summer blowout"?
Woohoo!
Yoo-hoo.
Love that.
That was just my initial thought, a dynamic description of the store.
I mean, the weather fits.
I was just
Exactly.
thinking to me it sounded like a Cabela's or like a Bass Pro Shop or something.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably more
That was
accurate. Awesome.
I was getting like a
What
farm vibe.
What
Yeah.
did you call me? Yeah, so that's, I mean, honestly, the Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop vibe is probably pretty accurate.
I think Anara's gonna go look at the not the jackets and stuff, but the like boots and the goggles and
With the
things
fur?
like that. The boots with the fur.
You don't need fur, you have fur.
I do have fur, but she's not looking for the fur. She's looking for the like sturdy shoe like thing.
Okay, well, it looks like there's some shoes over there. So, if we want to go look,
We can look.
you never know what you could find in a place like this.
That is very true. And we're in the north, and maybe some goggles wouldn't be a bad idea, depending. Because, you know, sometimes the snow.
Yeah, it could be a
blowing
bit
in your-
much.
Yeah.
I know my eyes are kind of sensitive, a little bit. I think I still have some sand lodged in them.
I'm still finding sand everywhere.
You guys haven't been there in weeks.
You don't want to know, man. It was a lot of sand.
I'm really glad I missed that adventure.
It was a lot of sand. There were a lot of fights, so there was a lot of times where you could get sand in places you don't want.
Or if you just, go completely head under in quicksand and
Also valid.
Oh, you didn't
I'm
tell
still
me
pulling
about the
sand out of
there
my
was
ears.
quicksand?
So
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That sounds awful.
That was actually right before the scorpions.
yeah, I almost died twice on that little
I
adventure for
remember you
nothing.
telling me about the scorpions. Those guys are no joke. I'm glad you didn't die, Callie. But that is, I did not remember. You did not tell me about the quicksand. That sounds. These feet, they're pretty good in a lot of places, but they are not good for sand.
I don't think any feet are good for sand.
Now, have you ever seen a camel's foot that like squishes out when they step on things? That's actually pretty good for sand.
Is it good for quicksand? I feel like if
Yeah, I
camels
don't
still
think
get stuck.
anything's good for quicksand.
I don't think yes. But
I don't think yes.
I think you are correct. It is not good for quicksand. But anyways, let's go look at some goggles and maybe some shoes.
Okay.
I hate sand.
Okay, Anakin.
I am.
I am.
People
Anakin
will ask me.
Skywalker.
No, people ask. They're like, "Do you like going to the beach?" I'm like, "No, I am Anakin Skywalker. I hate the sand. I hate
Wow.
it so much."
Wow, I didn't realize for real you didn't like it.
No, I do not.
You
like
don't
the sand.
remember her about her complaining about it when we were
Like
on the
when
beach
we
in
went to the
Maine?
beach that day?
Yeah, we're literally on the beach.
Yeah,
I
she
was
complained
so
the
mad.
entire time.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had forgotten about that.
I hate the sand.
All right, so
How much for goggles?
all right, so you're all right. So you're in the
where
where
the
am I?
goggles
The frost resistant gear, the stuff on the right when you walked in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when you get over there, you do see everyone give me an Arcana check, real quick.
Ooh. That'll be interesting.
One of my low scores.
One of my zeros.
It's a plus
Oh,
1. for
17.
me. 8 plus 1 is 9.
All right.
18.
18.
Nice.
Okay. So Florence and Callie, when you walk over, you do notice that some of the items that are over there definitely do give off like a slight magical vibe, a slight magical or nothing like too heavy or too powerful. But there's definitely you definitely get the sense that some of these items over here do give some higher than average resistances to cold and things like that. Maybe add a little bit extra, but yeah, you walk over and you start looking over the stuff. You come across like a pair of goggles, and as you're looking stuff over, you do have a tall Goliath walk over, and he once again kind of similar to Heward, kind of towers over everybody. Once again, very interesting that he's bald like a typical Goliath is. However, he does have a beard. Big, white, full beard. And he walks over and says, "Well, hello, it is welcome to the Frosty Finds. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?"
Well, I'm interested in these goggles.
Oh.
What can you tell me about them?
Oh, and he takes them off. Are you holding them, or were you just looking
I
at
was
them
just
on the shelf?
pointing.
Okay. All right. So he does take them off the shelf, and he says, "Oh, well, These goggles are a very useful product to have, especially if you plan on traversing into the mountains themselves, because there's always fear of flash snowstorms or avalanches or things like that. These goggles will enable you to perceive things at a higher level when in the most dangerous of snowy conditions. And he hands them to you if you would like to try them on.
Sure, I will. Do they like tie on?
They strap. So there's like it's 2 glass frames, and then there's like a leather cloth, and on the back there's a strap, kind of like a belt thing where you can tighten it.
Okay, so like it. Because I was thinking, like the elastic ones. She's got her horns, so it would be like awkward to kind of like stretch it over the horns.
No, it buckles like a belt. If she just puts it on and like belts it back, then that's fine. Cinches it. So when you put them on, you notice everything gets a bit brighter. Not to the point where it's like blinding, but it's definitely like you feel yourself maybe having to squint a little bit more. But when you do like, and he kind of sees you squinting a little bit, and he says, well, if you would like to look at the power of these goggles, feel free to walk over to the window over there and take a look.
And I'll walk over and take a look.
Yep. So you take a look outside. It's not like heavy snowstorm or anything like that, but the brightness is not nearly as powerful when looking out into kind of like, especially since it's kind of a cloudy-ish day. But you definitely do notice you could see farther on a clearer day. So it kind of like almost magnifies things. And he says, I also did forget to mention that it does give you increased line of sight if you're wearing them on a calm, clear day such as this.
That's pretty neat. How much for these?
And he kind of looks them over, walks over to the shelf to double check. He says, well, for these items, I would ask for 10 gold pieces.
That sounds like a steal. I will take one.
Oh, wonderful. So he, hands them to you. And so if you want to write in your inventory, snow goggles?
Snow goggles.
And then I can... 1 minute until ads.
1 minute until ads, okay. And then I will let you know, I'll shoot you later on, what the stat line is for all that.
Snow goggles. Got it.
All right, okay. So... let us go ahead and take our last break of the night. So let's go get something to eat, go get something to drink, go potty. Don't do it all at the same time this time. Break it up a little bit.
No.
Do one, then the other, then the other. No. And we will be back momentarily.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Well, friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
thing usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right.
You do also call everyone.
Would you
your
consider
friend.
us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
All right. Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So.
He is indeed a natural Jeff.
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging bodies down the road on your car?
We're not dragging them down the road. They're on like
we made
a
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sled. like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not.
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Did you hear it in your mind? Did you hear it on my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to
like.
see it.
Yep. He, kind of ruffles his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing.
That's so good. It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, go start.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
A little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean
God.
for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord. Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub!
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive.
So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
Is that in character?
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value, Matt.
Mert Masser.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
Bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my God.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have
All
a
right.
trench coat.
All right, but I'm
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you. And I will TPKO you.
That's good. Well, because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Well, friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me. And I count that as a good thing.
That is
thing
right.
usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
All right.
Goes to Kister and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug at the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural.
Natural
He
Jeff.
is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
awesome.
we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were
onto-
tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
didn't just leave them in the
Oh.
woods. Yeah.
You're dragging
Okay.
bodies down the road on your car?
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down
a-
the road. They're on
We
like
made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not
Jeffrey,
a
that's
mutt.
the dogs. That's the dog.
Well,
Did you
thank
hear
you
it
for
in your
telling me,
mind?
ta-ta!
Did you hear that in my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. I gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's
run.
basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love
I-
it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind
Good
of
to
like,
see it.
yep, he, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls
it?
it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. Go start.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
A little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean
God.
for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay.
I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord. Yeah.
Hey, we don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub!
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand. There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive.
So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck. I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value,
Mert Masser.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin.
And bye.
Oh my god. 3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my god.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have a
Alright.
trench coat.
Alright. But I'm
We like clips.
Clips.
Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you. And I will TPKO you.
That's good. Well, because I was worried because your friends seemed to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose.
Hey.
Hey!
There it is.
There it is. Now the for real A. Alright. Welcome back. Hope everybody enjoyed their break. So.
No.
Inara, you had just bought the snow goggles. The Goliath man stands there and says, I hope you do enjoy your purchase. Were any of your compatriots interested in any equipment at this time?
You know, I'll take a pair of the goggles as well.
Wonderful.
And do you have any warming agents?
Well, are you referring to potions or ointments or elixirs or things such as that?
It's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. Oh, and as he's like talking, he's walked back over to the shelf, pulled off another pair of goggles, hands them to you. And he says, regrettably, we have magical items here, but those are magic infused items here, but something like that is a little bit beyond what our capabilities are. We're just a small traveling shop here. Or not traveling shop, apologies, but we are just a small shop curtailing to a small population. Something like that you might have to go to a larger city to find, to go to a specific magic potion shop, if you will.
Okay, no worries.
I do apologize. Oh, shoes! Oh, we have shoes all over the place. Are you looking for, like, waterproof shoes? Are you searching for boots? Are you looking for, shoes for different animals? What are you looking for in particular?
To fit hooves. And when I say that, I'm gonna look at Inara.
Oh, and she'll kind of lift up a foot and show it. I get the ice and snow stuck in between my toes. We're looking for maybe a solution.
An interesting inquiry. Let me do a little bit searching. Let me go back to my desk, see if I can find something in our catalog that might suit your needs. He kind of eyeballs your feet and he's like, okay, yes. Let me do some searching. I'll be right back. And he scurries away to back behind the counter and pulls out this big hefty ledger and just kind of starts flipping through it. Feel free to peruse the rest of the shop while I search.
Sure. Are there any other like magical things? in
How
the
much
shop?
were the goggles? Did you find the price out yet?
10 gold.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that was your question, Callie. Inara, did you ask something?
Yeah, just if there are other magical things in the shop.
So at this point, you know, Callie and Florence kind of let you know that there's like over by where the goggles were, you see a couple magically infused like scarves, some magically infused gloves, things like that. That's really kind of it in terms of like magical items on that side of the shop. The rest of the shop seems to be pretty standard, like winter coats, winter boots, you know, basic gear, stuff like that, ice picks, you know, stuff like that.
I think I might look at one of the scarves too and see if there's a price on the shelf.
Okay. So you're looking at the scarves. When you like take it off the shelf to look at it, it feels, you know, slightly warm to the touch. Not like burning hot, but you definitely do feel an aura of warmth on it. And when you go to like wrap it around your neck, for context, think of it as like a scarf that has like heat packets in it. That's basically what that feeling you get. So it's not just like the comfort of the wool scarf. You feel like an extra little warmth around like the center of the scarf.
Oh, this is quite nice. I might get one of these too if it's not too expensive.
Yeah. And you do look, and there's a price listed on there of 20 gold pieces for it.
I will definitely be picking one of those up.
Okay. All right. And so, like, as you're kind of looking at the scarves and all the other items over there, you do hear, from the counter, you do hear an aha, and he kind of
I'll walk up to the counter when I hear that, carrying the scarf and the goggles.
Oh, wonderful! I see you were looking at one of our pre-warmed scarves. There's a slight magic aura to them, so that when you wrap your neck in it, not only do you get the soft comfort and the warmth of the wool itself, you get a magically infused warmth that can last for many, many days.
This is excellent. I'm taking this as well.
Wonderful. That will be 20 gold pieces.
Does it ever stop being warm?
It has been known to fade over time, especially if you and he reaches from under the counter, reaches under the counter and takes out like a special sack. He says, for an extra gold piece, you can get this magical sack that does keep the internal warmth of the scarf when you are not wearing it for an extended period of time. The warmth, the scarf itself is wonderful. The extra warmth does tend to last approximately 7 days. But with this bag, it can keep that magically infused heat up to an additional 30 days.
I will definitely take one of those also.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah, I'll take both as well.
Okay. All right, so... And he turns to you, Callie, and says, is there anything in the shop that you wish to peruse at this time?
I mean, I'll take one of those scarves and the magical sack, and I'm sure I'll need those goggles at some point, too.
Wonderful. Wonderful to hear. So that'll be 31 gold pieces from each of you, please.
Ooh, excuse me.
All right.
I hand him over the gold.
Okay. Thank you.
And did you find anything in your book?
You are in luck. So I thought I had something for this back when we a couple winters ago when we had a large influx of travelers that were on horseback. I had bought a large inventory of this special product to help with the horse travel and, you know, other hooved individuals. And I have something in the back. I believe it is my last pair. I have something for it. Just if you wouldn't mind waiting a moment, I need to run back to find it.
All right. I will wait.
All right. So then you run back, and who? All right. So Callie, your passive perception is 12. Inara and Florence, what are your passive perceptions?
18.
18 also.
Oh, jeez. Okay. You see God.
We're so perceptive.
You see God.
See God.
Yeah.
If I actively roll, I could see God because I have a +8.
Nice.
Same.
Jesus. So Callie, while you're kind of like, looking at the goggles and the scar for the first time, Florence and Inara, you do hear, while you're kind of, the three of you, you do hear the kids that were over by the middle display kind of chitter chatter and say like, oh, do you think he's gonna come this year? Oh, what are you talking about? We're the first that he always, he's the first stop for us. Oh, it's going to be so exciting when he comes. I can't wait to get different gifts. And, I really hope I get that sled this year. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I've been wanting to get these new gloves. And, I just am so excited. I can't wait for him to come. And you kind of hear chitter chatter like that around that middle display between the kids.
I was just waiting for you to stop. It was like, is he going to keep going?
Oh, I could. I could. That's the problem.
I know you could. I guess I'll approach the kids.
Okay. All right. They're like, and they look up like, oh, wow, hi! I've never seen you before. What's your name?
Everyone in this town is so friendly. My name is Florence.
Florence.
I couldn't help but overhear.
And they're like, wow, that's such a cool name.
Thank
I
you.
want to. Can I change my name to Florence? I want to be Florence now. I don't like my name. My name's kind of boring. Not compared to Florence. Wow.
I miss Legionnaire.
Who's Legionnaire?
Oh no. He's a friend of mine. I couldn't help but overhear you all talking about someone coming to visit. Do they visit the town, or is this like a family event?
Oh.
Does this have to do with the big Christmas tree?
A Christmas tree? Do you not know about Christmas? We're talking about Santa Claus, of course. Gee, Willikers. And then, like, one of them turns to the other and be like, wow, she's got a really cool name, but she doesn't know about Christmas? That's kind of a bummer.
I think Nara will walk over at this point. What is this Christmas that you are speaking of?
I don't know.
Do you know? You've not heard of this before?
No, they don't have that in Lefstolis.
They definitely don't have it in the Feywilds.
And they were like, Florence. They're basically like, when they see Inara walk up, they basically like shove Florence aside. And they're just like, whoa.
Legs.
Legs for days.
I know. They're like, literally, they're like, how can, what? The Feywild? Like, the Feywild with, like, the fairies and, like, the magical plants that can turn you into animals and the lakes that can eat you? Like that Feywild? You're from there?
Yes, you do not want to cross fairies. They are actually quite nasty.
Oh, yeah, I know. My mom told me all about the fairies and that, like, that's part of the, part of the reason why people shouldn't really go to the Feywild if you're not from there. Because if you go to the Feywild, you don't know the rules and the customs, and then the fairies could turn you into a frog. Do they really turn you into a frog? Have you been turned into a frog before?
I have never been turned into a frog. But it is very dangerous for people who do not know where to go or what to do or what plants to avoid or what plants to not offend or things like that.
You can offend a plant?
You can offend anybody.
One of them smacks the other one. See, I told you could offend anyone. Jeez.
Bend.
So, weird thing just happened. The internet, Tony's like talking like you can offend a plant, and then Christy's thing about offending plants came right after.
Oh, so Christy caught up to you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. You caught up.
The Feywild is a very dangerous place, but we definitely do not. First of all, we do not have snow like this. Well, probably in some parts of the Feywild that I have not been to, but generally speaking, we do not have snow like this. But at the same time, we do have can eat you, like you said, and plants that can turn you into things and hurt you or transport you. That was a fun day. That day I figured out the ferns that can you brush up against them and all of a sudden you're miles away. It's very disconcerting, and you have to figure out where you are.
Were you scared?
I was pretty scared at the time because I was a little one at that point. And my master had to come find me, and it was a whole thing. And then I had to spend the next month studying plants. It was very boring. But
man, I would love to study plants like that. I heard my cousin had a friend who he went to school with that said that he went to the Feywild once and he climbed the tree and the tree yelled at him to get off him. Was that true? Does that happen?
Well, yes, if he didn't ask the tree's permission.
Man, and I thought he was just full of it. That's crazy. Wow.
Speaking of trees, what's a Christmas tree? What's its purpose?
Oh, they turn around. It's like, oh yeah, you're still here. I'm talking to Hoof Lady. Come on. I'm talking to Feywild Lady. Leave me alone. Yeah, so
Hoof Lady.
Yeah. So Christmas is it's a holiday that is celebrated well, definitely around here, but we're pretty sure it's done all the way around the world, where it's a holiday where it celebrates, being nice to people and giving gifts and getting gifts and just being happy. Like, there's a lot of things that the world, like, sucks about the world, like plants that can yell at you and, like, frogs that can eat you whole, like in the Feywild. They're like, a Feywild's so cool. Anyway, and like all this bad stuff. But like Christmas is like the one time a year where everybody's nice to each other just to be nice to each other. And you give gifts and like you play games. It's just so much fun. And Santa Claus, and that one's like, no, let me tell him about Santa Claus. Okay. So Santa Claus, he is this magical elf. And he lives up here, up in this area, like the snowy area. This is where he lives all the time. And what he does all year is he makes toys for kids and special gifts for grown-ups that have been good. And what he does is he comes by and he stops at Polar Pine first, which makes our town the coolest town in the world. And then he goes to the rest of the world to give gifts to kids and people that are good and that need them. And it's just the best. It's just the best. And so you came right before the Christmas celebration. So like, have you been to the tree yet? Have you seen the big tree yet?
Oh
my gosh, you gotta go see the big tree. It's the big, and that was like, they're gonna go. You don't need to explain it to them. Okay, sorry, you're right. So yeah, so, and then you hear, like, from the door area, be like, all right, children, time to go. I'm like, oh, all right, no, that's our parents. We gotta go. But hey, it's nice to meet you. Welcome to Polar Pine. I hope your Christmas is a good Christmas, and we want, and they give you both hugs. Just say, Merry Christmas.
She kind of pats one on the head.
Florence is just gonna stand there like,
Merry Christmas?
Yeah, there you go. You got it. Good.
Merry Christmas.
Good job. Yeah. And then they start walking off. They're like, oh my gosh, I thought that Florence lady was really cool, but then the lady from the Feywild showed up, and that's even cooler. Wow, this is the best day ever. And then like that's the conversation you kind of hear as the family walks out.
Now I really feel like I need a nap.
I don't like hugs.
I know, and she'll pat her on the shoulder.
So at this point, the Goliath individual comes walking out of the back, and he says, I knew I had it. I still have. I keep my inventory book. I keep my inventory books up to date for this specific reason. And he hands you. So think of like it's like a leather type, basically hoof shoe. So it wraps around a hoof, and it has like the part around the top part is like, you know, flexible but firm leather, and then the bottom is like a hardish type leather, so not as bendy, not as flexible. And in the bottom of it, it has like 10 or 11 like little nails or spikes sticking out of the bottom.
For like traction, kind of like ice.
Yeah.
Ice.
Yeah. Yeah. So he says yes. So we had a group a couple years ago that was wanting to do a trek up into the mountains. So I had special ordered these. They're. I apologize. They're kind of made for horses, so I'm not sure if it's gonna fit you. But it was the closest thing I could find based on what you were looking for. And he hands them to you.
She'll take them and kind of like hold her foot up and kind of size the bottom up to the bottom of her foot, which I assume is smaller than a horse's foot.
Yeah,
maybe.
so it's there's gonna be a little bit of a gap, but it's not like you're like similar to the goggles. It has buckles on the back, like 3 buckles. So you could tighten it. You could tighten it fairly tight, and it'll be like 90% tight. There may be a little bit of a gap, but not too. On the tightest setting.
Like, the spikes on the edges, like that, she could probably pull them out, or the nails to pull them out, so they're not sticking out sideways if it's too tight.
Yeah.
On the bottom.
Yeah.
So I think this will actually work pretty well.
And when do you like try it on, or are you just like looking at it?
Yeah, I'll try it on.
Okay. You notice that it has like a fur lining on the inside that is surprisingly comfortable.
This is actually quite nice. You know what? This is exactly what I was looking for. Maybe I will actually enjoy walking in this snow now.
And he slaps his hand on the counter at that and is like, yes, because here at the Frosty Finds, we do our best to accommodate any and every customer.
This is perfect. How much do I owe you for these?
These will, I did charge 10 silver pieces back in the day, but since this is my last pair, and it's in the spirit of Christmas, I'll give it to you for 5 silver pieces.
I will give him a gold.
I'm going to take her gold, put it back in her pouch, and put 2 gold on the counter.
I can pay for my own shoes.
In the
It was your
spirit of
idea.
Christmas, the kids said that you get gifts, so this is my gift to you.
Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you so much, Florence.
And the proprietor is like looking at this and is just like, well, first off, he is just like, well, this was incredibly generous. Thank you very much. And second off, you are new to town, but none of you have heard of Christmas? The holiday of
no.
Christmas?
I don't know, Callie, have you heard of this Christmas
I'll make a
before?
history check to see if I heard of Christmas.
Yeah,
Callie
if
has
you-
traveled around.
If you want, yeah, and you've traveled quite a bit, more so than your compatriots, so if you want to, go for it.
We've just traveled with each other. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19.
19. So you remember a couple places hearing, a couple places you've heard about Christmas. With a 19, I will also say that, like, you've traveled to other places and heard about a holiday like Christmas, but they've called it something different. So, you get the sense that this may be a universal holiday that's celebrated, but not everybody calls it Christmas.
I think it's like those, just like a winter solstice. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. We do celebrate.
I think it's kind of like
nothing of
that. It's just called different things in different places. I think I've only heard the term Christmas once, but it's usually a winter celebration of some sort.
Okay. Why didn't they just say that?
You said,
Well, it's regional dialect. They probably haven't heard of winter solstice if you ask them.
He says, and the proprietor says, I have to admit, never heard of this winter solstice thing, but if it is another name for Christmas, then, a holiday by any name is still a holiday in my book, so.
Fair.
Well, then I definitely do recommend checking out the Christmas tree in the town square. Definitely do recommend the Icy Heath Lodge. You could get some wonderful food and drink there. And plus, if you're looking for a place to rest your head for the night, you can't do any better. You can't do any place better in this part of the world. Word's a good guy.
Yeah, we actually came from there.
Oh,
and he
wonderful.
Is a good guy. I would agree. I would agree.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, his apple dumplings. Oh, to die for.
So good.
To
Agreed,
die
that
for.
was
His
so
wife
good.
has some kind of secret recipe. I don't know if it's some kind of temptress vixen ingredient magical powder that she puts in it, but I could eat the things all day. They're just so good. Especially if you get them steaming hot.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, sir. These shoes are so good, and she's gonna sit down and buckle them both up on, and like she'll pull the extra nails out and make the adjustments that she needs to. This is just so nice. And thank you, Florence, for the gift. That's very much appreciated.
Very welcome.
Shall we go check out this tree that everybody keeps talking about?
I guess so.
Wonderful. Yes. If you walk out my shop, you hang a right. Take that path all the way down. It'll lead you right to the town square. Once again, thank you for shopping at the Frosty Finds. If you do make your way back, my name is Alfred, and it is my pleasure to serve you, and I hope to serve you again very shortly. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one other thing since you are both new to town, and it is in the spirit of the Christmas holiday. He does reach under his counter and gives each one of you a small wreath with a red bow on it. It says, a small Christmas treat. You could kind of...
That is very cute. Thank you.
Cute.
Yes, my pleasure. So you can...
As we exit the shop, I'm going to look at Anara and go, I don't know what to do with this. I don't have a door.
Well, it's not like big, like, it's like, about the size of your hand kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So like a ornament, like tree ornament size.
Okay.
All right.
Anara's gonna tie it onto her pack.
Oh, there you go.
Good idea. And then Florence is going to do the same thing.
All right. So, we are gonna leave on a bit of a cliffhanger. So, as you depart the Frosty Finds, you immediately pick up the sound of people yelling and cursing. You start walking down the road, you hear the sounds get louder and louder. As you investigate the source of the sound, you come upon two elves having a heated discussion in front of a massive silo.
Oh.
Well, I built it, so I should have more from silage, not you, screams one of the elves. Yeah, but I'm the one that goes selling it off for profit in the city, you dumb oaf, retorts the other. Is that so? Well, how about you move your nuda und and work for once instead of chatting with adventures all day playing knucklebones? That does it. Come here, you stupid sif. And you see these two elves that are starting this argument start to shove and push one another. Not like super aggressive, like these aren't like trained fighters, but this definitely like shove and then like someone tries to throw a punch and the other one kind of dodges out of the way, and this is what you come upon. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Kind of early, but okay.
I love a good cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than starting something and having to go really late.
Yeah. Or starting something and breaking it off like halfway through.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was at with this. We could have gone on for like the rest of the time, but then it also would have I would have had to find a weird place to stop.
It's like a good stopping point.
Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And this also gives me a moment to catch up on notifications. So I did hear a couple subs. I heard we had a raid, which thank you for the raid. It's very much appreciated.
Sypha Techno.
Nice. Well,
Who'd
thank
get
you.
rated by?
Sypha Techno. I might be saying it wrong. Techno? I know. Sypha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Thanks for the raid.
Sypha Techno. Yep. And they came in like pretty early on, like almost when we started. So that's very much appreciated. Thank you. And like I said, we had a couple gifts. We have a couple subs. We had a couple donations. So thank you for that. It's always greatly appreciated. And that is it. So, I gotta admit, I will say it's weird because I'm normally a homebrew guy. I'm a homebrew DM, so I come up with everything, on my own. So the fact that I'm reading something feels weird, but at the same time, this is a really fun written one-shot that does also allow for, homebrew people such as myself to get a little bit flexible, like add a little something extra without, putting in too much. Plus, it's also nice not having to make up names.
Yeah, that's the key for me. Is
we need the rock walls.
Rock walls everywhere.
The rock walls may
all
make
the
an
time.
appearance. Who knows? I had fantasy name generator coming up because I was ready for Florence to ask the names of the two kids, and I was gonna be like, all right, I'm not gonna fumble the bag on this one.
Not tonight. I'll let you off this once.
That's yeah. I don't know. I feel like asking people's names is more of a Legionnaire thing.
Yeah. Florence doesn't really care.
Yeah, Nara definitely doesn't care.
No. See, the three of us together, I feel like our team is like the Powderpuff Girls if the Powderpuff Girls were after puberty.
You're not wrong.
Pretty accurate.
You're really not wrong. That's very funny.
It's Dungeons and Dragons Powderpuff Girls.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. It's always appreciated. Unfortunately, it is time for us to head back to the real world, but we will be back same bat time next week for part 2. We'll see what the party does with these fighting elves. In the meantime, we are going to raid out to our friends over at Blue Cottage D&D. Haven't been able to pop on with them in a while, so I figured this would be a nice pop in to say hello. So same bat chime, same bat channel. Please, that always go check out the Discord server. Please go check out our socials. Go check out Dragon's Nest Delivery, which this one shot came from. Please check out Hexwood Creations for dice boxes and all other wood product, if you will. Like I said, it is unfortunately time for us to head back into the real world, but we appreciate you hanging out, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. So, have a good one, everyone.